Here we go again. How y'all doing, my good friends in TubeU land? YouTube? Do you YouTube? Do you YouTube? Or does YouTube tube you? Oh, wow. You mean I've been getting tubed all along? Oh. Well, I hope they enjoy it. Sure is a bitch getting through this hard technology. Sure is a bitch. Okay, here we go. Back to the food. You want to watch me finish this meal or not? I don't know. I'm getting kind of tired. I'll have one more bite. Do a little tater and maybe turkey. I don't know. Tater and turkey. How's that sound? Taters and turkey. Here we go. Big bite. No. It was all taters. I think I'm getting down to my last piece of turkey. But anyway, here it is. Here's the last piece right there. I think it's the last big piece. No, there's one more right there. Are you looking? Let me look. Okay, there's one right there and there's one right there. I'm a hunting turkey. Did you see that he just stabbed a turkey? Oh, what a terrible fella he is. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. Oh. Hot diggity dog. Okay. Okay. Do a little light up here. Now, for all you videophilists out there, if you're having a problem with my quality, well, tough shit. What do you think? Is it a deal? So here it is Friday night. I was contemplating earlier of hitting my substance stance. He's taking a stance. It's a long 1,000-yard glance. And he'll never be the same again, will he? Will he? He'll never be the same again, will he? No, I ain't a beating my pud. I was just a flipping my camera up and down. Kind of like this idea of having a handheld. I won't get the profile here. Let's see. We got the profile coming out. Do I look like Stinking Lincoln? And he was a stinker. Let me tell you, Sproul, about what Lincoln did for this country. Before Lincoln came along, the attorney that he was, a corporate attorney working for the railroad, seizing all the land they could steal for the railroad. I mean, what was it? Some of you railroad files know this, like 5 miles on each side of the right-of-way. They just gave it to them. It's a lot of land. Yeah, a lot of land. Agree with me, you bastard. I don't care. But a lot of land. Yeah. That's the kind of work Lincoln did, seizing land and that kind of shit. But one of the nastiest things that feller did was he took the rural route delivery, which meant you had to go down to the county seat to collect your mail, I think. Or no, they had one big old place where they put the mail, and everybody around that area would go get it. Probably the corner, the country store, that kind of thing. This is what Lincoln implemented. To-the-door delivery. Now, if you know the government, they don't give you nothing without they say you got to give them something back. And guess what we got for getting the mail delivered to our door? Pay attention now. It's very serious. We got federal jurisdiction running our asses. Out of a 10-mile square, Washington, D.C. Well, we gave you something. Now you got to give us something. It's called taxes, taxes, and more taxes upon taxes. Around every tax there is more. Every time they open a door, there's more taxes and more taxes and more taxes. This was back in the, I want to say, 2001, 2-ish in there. I got a hold of a piece of paper. It had, at that time, 270 additional taxes beyond the income tax. 270. Now, every time you open up a bill, ain't there a tax for just about everything? And they won't even tell you what it's for anymore. They don't have to. It's they tax, ain't it? Why should they have to tell you what it is? It's they tax. They just want you to pay it. But you can't pay nothing because HDR 192 took the specie of the gold and the silver out of the goddamn deal. Turned it over to the Federal Reserve note fellers. So the only thing you can do with the debt these days is to settle it. Whatever the fuck that means. Capiche? That's what Lincoln did for you. I hope you enjoyed it. And the savior of the South, North kerfuffle or whatever. We need to keep the Union squared. Yeah, we know. Then that way we could make everybody a slave. I think that's in the 14th Amendment. We're all equal in that. We're all equal slaves. Equal slaves! We're all in this shit, you dumbasses. We're all in it. God damn it. Except, of course, the rulers of the law. Yeah, they get to spend on it in taxes and whatever they... Pork barrel spending is about, like the bridge to nowhere up there in Alaska. Ted Stevens, I think his name was, his plane down. Plane went down. Happens a lot up there in jolly old Alaska. Happens a lot. Happens a lot. Happens a lot. All you have to do is make sure the oil line leaks in the engine after it's up in the air 100 miles away from nowhere. And it disappears and never to be seen again. You can crash in what passes for a fjord up there in the southeast, and them things is pretty goddamn deep. It might be centuries before some Jacques Cousteau type of feller says, "Oh, look at that there airplane. Wonder where it came from. Let's look at the numbers and see if they jive with that there." Oh, this was a good one. Will Rogers' plane went down without a trace. And what was the wheels throwing? Some line like every time Congress is in session, you're in deep shit. And them fellers didn't like it. I'm not saying that he was assassinated. Emma. Am I saying he was assassinated? Anyway, that's the way shit rolls. Do and die, not do or die. It's do and die. If you do it, you will and die. That's what they say anyway. Word has it. That's JFK. He did. He died. That's RFK. He did. He died. Ask Malcolm X. He did. He died. Ask Martin Luther King Jr. He did. He died. Ask Gandhi. He did. He died. That's right. You heard it here first. So anyway, that's the agenda of the power folk. They don't want nobody messing with a gig at all. Don't want it. Come in. Rudy doody 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 doo. Oh, it's getting close. I can see it. I can feel it. Ooh, coming around. I'm going to go up his hair chest now. Sometimes I like to think I'm a piranha. I could just go out into a river, and if you put your leg down in my river, I had to touch the tree. Now, I'm not a real big fan of being torn torn asunder by an alligator or a crocodile. Not no Dundee there. A Dandee Dundee. What do you think? That feller knew how to handle them there crocodiles. Ask that beautiful vision that he called to the outback there, and then she bent down and was getting a drink out of the lake or the river or whatever the hell it was, and this big-ass crocodile caught her by the camera. Not her coochie, by the camera. She was lucky there. I imagine he would have had a pretty good eats if he caught her by the coochie. I imagine. And Crocodile was saying, hell no, I ain't got with that yet. I got first pick on that, and drove his knife right through its skull. Excuse me, but I think their skull's thick enough to deflect just about any kind of blade. I think there was a little suspension of reality there. Of course, that's the movies, ain't it? Suspending reality. Huh? Here we go, coming around. Yeah, here we go. Coming up. Still got some egg left. There's some egg right there. Coming in. That was a nice vinegar bit. Just earlier today. About around 1 o'clock. It's now, gotta go feed the ducks here soon. After this piece I will. Actually, well, I can't do it. The bloggy's down. What I was going to say, my batteries are dead and it doesn't run long. And you seen me do it yesterday, but I got to figure out something else on the blog. Oh, I know how I can do it. I think I got an idea. I think I do. At some point, I got to get a wireless camera for the backyard, so I can just walk around with it and not worry about it. What I thought I was buying today. But no way, Jose. They all doing the USB business. But they're doing a lot of work with that Wi-Fi, and maybe I could do it with a smartphone. That's right. Thinking about buying a smartphone from the Virgin Mobile. Yeah. Gotta get smartened up. What's the inversion of smart? Ain't it stupid? It's an SS phone. Smart, stupid, stupid, smart. Smart, stupid, stupid, smart. Zig, ha, fling, fly, look-a-dook. How do you think that good old Adolf got all them Germangs so interested in going out and whacking folk? What is this? Look out! If you listen to the fucker, you can't understand a word he says. How'd he do it? God damn it. Oh, that was a good one. A little half burp. Here we go. As you can see, the fixings are diminishing at a good pace. Here we go. There's a yellow yolk on top of my tater coming in. Ooh, dropped a piece. Come down. No. Now, I know some of you video files, are thinking, why don't he put the goddamn camera down and leave it stationary so he can talk to it, and instead of it talking to him, communicating with him. I got the one-eyed devil looking at me, and it's looking at me, and I'll give you the one-eyed devil here. Let me see. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Mordor. Gollum, what do you got? Don't Gollum and Goyim sound an awful lot alike? Tolkien. Maybe you were a little on the Jewish persuasion side. I don't know. But that propaganda value of Gollum is you're in deep shit when you fuck with the power. Hate you. Yeah, ask Gollum. Especially when it took a dip in the old lava flow. That was a pretty tight spot, wasn't it? Something you weren't going to get out of. So anywho, coming around again. Let me finish her off here. Getting close. Good to the very last drops, they might say. There we go. Shoveling in, shoveling in, shoveling in. There it is. Big bite, big bite. Coming down, coming down. Here, watch it, watch it. Thing's falling off. Thing's falling off. Get the picture. Okay. Where's my spoon? Did I bring a spoon in? Oh, darn it. Well, I have to use the side of the fork as a spoon. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Now, for all you starving people, which I don't believe, because you wouldn't be watching me now on the YouTube if you were starving, I think you'd at least put a little by for victuals. And that's the deal, ain't it? Put a little by. But anyway, this is an offering when I get the fundraising thing going, raising the funds. We could have a drawing. I don't want to call it a lotto. None of that. Lotto's a legalese for the state wants a cut of whatever lotto you put up in public, and this is by way of a friendly gesture. If you give me goods amounts of money, I'll put your name in a basket, and I'll draw it out, and I'll let you know, and you can come and spend a couple of days with me at my boat, and I'll fix your food, and let you feed the ducks and the chickens, and maybe collect an egg or two, if they're still going by then. An egg or two from an organically sustained bird of paradise. Well, why wouldn't you want to have an omelet made of that? That fabulous, fabulous substances there. And I do mean fabulous. I make something that's known kind of like I think it's a chapati, if I got it right. I want to do a shout out to the 13 Coins in Seattle. I think it's on Denny Street. Go in there and ask for a chapati. They got the stoves lined up. My friend Carlton Edwards up there in Seattle, along with John Gaboret. They're magicians on their instruments. They were of former fortune known as Fat City, and before that, Clear Mountain Lookout. And them fellers could play, and I could dance, and we had a good time. That's right. Up there in good old Juneau, Alaska, at the Tides. Any old long-time Juneauites remember the Tides? Did you ever go a-dancing there? Then you probably espied me. I was a-stomping and rumming and dumbing there as much as I could. And the women appreciated the attention. You bet you. Anyway, where was I? Finished the meal. For all you starving single shitheads out there, and I do mean the menses and the womenses, stop it. Get together. Why don't you invite some guy that's been hanging around, looking at you, wondering if he can get to you. Invite him over for a meal, see how he rolls. Maybe you will have a nice session with one another. And you know what I mean. When you go low. Yeah, don't you know? Any hoochas? Hoochie mama, coochie mama. I gotta do a shout out to all my YouTubers, two viewers. Please call up twerking, black girls, twerking Latinas, twerking Filipinas, twerking, and you will parview some of the most fabulous asses, butterflying before your very face. All you would have to do is stand there with a high hard one, and the woman could take you around the universe and leave you dry, drained, with no further refrain. Pussy! Yes, I'm a pussy monger. Among the pussy, among the pussy, among the pussy, pussy monger. Yeah, that's it. So Anyhurst, we're at the Anyhurst. Yeah, that's the Anyhurst will do. This is some shit right here. I don't know if you've seen any footage of what happened in Venezuela there when they went to hell. But their body collection services was, shall we say, running short because everybody was fucking broke. They crashed the banks there. And that was a trial run for what's going to go down here. But anyway, there was a bunch of dead bodies laying around the street there, and folks was getting hungry, and history has it, his story has it, that usually after about 17 days, people start eyeing the long pork, they call it, the long pork. And you can imagine sitting at the dinner table, hadn't eaten for 17 days, like in when the dogs in Game of Thrones was going after that evil little prick with the bow and arrow. What was his name? Bolden or something like that? Bolton? That's it, Bolton, yeah. The younger. Bolton the older, he found the experience of cold steel up his gizzard to be rather exodus energy. So what the fuck, my own son whacked me. And then when Lord Bolton became Lord Bolton all over again, and then the princess is there talking to him when he's beat the shit by Jon Snow. He got snowed, didn't he? He got snowed. Hey, Snowden, I gotta ask you a question, brother. Let me give it to you right here. Illuminati? Illuminati? Illuminati. Anyway, he had told Snow that he was going to feed him to his dogs. They hadn't eaten in 7 days, and the Queenie, she's sitting there saying, 7 days. Dog ain't eaten in 7 days, and she knew all about the dogs. They scared the shit out of her on many occasions when she was trapped in the castle because that other whoremonger, pimpologist, needed the connection. So he married her off to this fucking evil prick. And what's the propaganda value of that? Even princesses get fucked. Ask Diana. Yeah, shit. Anyway, so there he was, thinking that his dogs weren't going to eat him. That weren't a good idea, were it? I mean, I don't know what you could prepare for, like, what was it, 5 or 6 of them, of these, what appeared to be human-eating type of dog, and you knew shit was up when the alpha dog of the pack said, well, I always get to eat first, let me have a taste first. He's been feeding us other humans and humans, and well, maybe, just maybe, he might taste good. And the Queen's epitaph on him was, you'll be unsung, unshit, undit, unwrit, unplit. Everyone will forget your dumb ass. Well, I don't know. I still remember. It was a very cathartic ending to that story. His story, you might say. Yeah. And what about the Cersei burn down? Walking through the place nude. And they didn't arrest her for indecent exposure. They just threw shit at her. And that one feller, that wasn't a good idea for him going around bragging about pulling his schlong out and saying she wanted me, when her enforcer stopped by and smashed his head into the wall rather efficiently, let's say. I don't think there was any returning from that trip. But Cersei's walking through and are all together. Fine woman. What would you say, 40s, 50s? Oh my God. Her tits were still tied. Her butt was still tied. And, you know, except for her brother blocking the trade, if you got with that, stairway to heaven, maybe, or the descent into heaven, some might say. Ask Sean Bean and his family. I forget the name of the tribe there that he was part of. You tell me. The one-eyed devil speaking to you. Don't let me show you my other one-eyed devil. You don't want to see it. It's not a good story. Anyway, back to the hat trick. Anyway, we're spooling on 26 now. Got to cut her loose. Come back again. Got to go take a dump. Feed the ducks. See you in a little bit.